New channel, who dis? But the game remains the same, and we're on the eve of one of the most confusingly anticipated console launches of all time. Confusing mostly because it's not a fucking console. It's a goddamn tablet that you plug into an HDMI port so you can see games in low res on your high res TV. The Nintendo Switch and Donald Trump have a lot in common with each other. We're sick of talking about both of them, yet they both fuck up so much that it's hard to hold back. Who's in for one last hurrah at shitting on the Switch before the release date? Me am.
Here we go!
No, you fucking cuck!
Peggy 18.
Oh, Nintendo Switch, how do we hate thee? Let us count the ways.
Yes.
You're a device for children marketed to adults that now has us even more worried about going to social gatherings in the future, knowing that there might be a bunch of people our age playing fucking Mario Kart instead of drinking themselves into a catatonic state like normal people.
It's also deceiving to show this thing as a truly mobile gaming solution considering how weak the battery is. So no, really, you're probably not going to be able to huddle around the Switch like it's a campfire while playing NBA 2K with a bunch of your friends for an extended period of time unless you bring a bunch of power blocks along with you. And no, you're probably not going to be able to have this thing survive an entire travel day while playing The Legend of Korra Airbender of the Wild or whatever.
Your dock is a joke. It's a grundle. It's a piece of plastic that holds the device upright, and that's pretty much it. It doesn't add processing power. It doesn't really do jack shit, except sit there as a glorified cable management solution.
The amount of launch day titles is a disgrace to the gaming community who is
Sad.
eagerly awaiting your release all over their waiting faces.
Sad. The onboard storage is a joke and wouldn't be considered acceptable 10 years ago. So it's baffling to think that it should be accepted today, especially when we all know how compact and affordable it is.
Storage is cheap. That's true. And there's more. Boy, is there more, because as it creeps closer to release day, we're seeing more and more news that should be a gigantic warning sign for any normal person who can cut through the spell Nintendo's put on people with their bright, vivid colors and their high doses of nostalgia. Starting with the news earlier this week that the one cool feature that could have made this whole thing worth owning at launch, despite not having more than a handful of new playable games, despite that, all of that, there was one feature that it could have had, and that was being a virtual console on the Switch there. That will not be available at launch. How about that, everyone?
Oh, what the hell is a virtual console, you might attempt to ask before realizing your mouth is full of flaming hot Cheetos? Well,
What the hell is a virtual console?
while a virtual console would allow you to purchase and play games from Nintendo's extensive and historic list of releases from the past 30 or so years. You want to play Super Mario Bros. 3? Sure, go ahead. You want to play Zelda 2 Electric Boogaloo to the Past? Fine. How does GoldenEye sound? Be our guest, be our guest. Put our game in your console. Launching the Nintendo Switch with a virtual console features would have made this a much more intriguing purchase right out the gate than what everyone will be getting. It would have given value to a product that is literally launching with less than a dozen games. Some of which are indie games that have been out for years on other platforms and not console exclusive.
Yeah, and some games have been out on mobile devices for years that they're launching with.
Sad.
So yeah, it does seem pretty short-sighted that a company who has already shown their ability to utilize features like this wouldn't have features like this ready for the launch of their tablet. Their statement on the subject bluntly states, "Virtual console games will not be available on Nintendo Switch at launch. We will share more information in the future." So they're not even giving out a time frame of when this will become available. Cool, take my money, please. I'm a fucking idiot who doesn't care how rushed to market this device is. Gimme.
I want the new Zelda.
Now let's get back to that whole storage issue, because if it wasn't already obvious, you 100% will have to go out and buy additional storage for this piece of shit console via micro SDXC cards, because the Switch only comes with a gargantuan 32 gigs of internal storage. Less than your fucking phone, 6 gigs of which are taken up by the operating system, plus any future patches.
And there is a day one patch.
Bye-bye gigs. So you have 26 potential gigabytes to do with as you please on this $300 console. Thanks, Nintendo. Now let's take a look at the size of some of the games that you might be playing on this thing. Surely the 27 gigs you have can fit multiple games at a time.
Okay, well, here you go. Tom Clancy's Zelda Recon Wild Breath is a 13.5 gig game. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that's 7 gigs for that game. Nobunaga's Ambition, whatever the hell that is, that's 5 gigs.
And you're out of space.
Well, anyways.
You got 2 gigs left for saves.
Those are just year one titles. The real kick in the tits is that there is a game already announced for the Switch which will exceed its onboard storage capabilities by itself. Okay, now listen. Remember how we said the Switch has 32 gigs of internal storage, but really only has 26? Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 is going to be a 32 gigabyte download when it's released. So you literally will not be able to play it unless you've spent the extra money to buy expandable storage with a micro SDXC card.
Hey, but at least they're letting you, buy the storage open source. They could have done fucking, Expando cartridges or some shit.
Could you imagine our rage if that happened?
Yeah.
We'd be out in the streets rioting.
No, you don't understand. This has a rumble pack.
If they went and did some exclusive Nintendo storage, I would be out in the streets and in the town halls being a paid protester like the rest of them.
I would show up at my congressman's home meeting and I would yell at him.
But only if someone paid me for it.
Yeah. Soros.
Give me that money.
But anyway, let's move on. It's coming out next week. You can all still go and buy it. I don't know why you would. We're not stopping you, though.
No.
We do, however, have to call Shibby out for the amazing score that he gave For Honor last week. Because there have been numerous issues plaguing this game since its launch, and for him to waltz out here onto the most ethical stage in gaming news history and tell you that it is anything other than a 0 out of 10, it's just plain irresponsible.
And we're sorry for him.
We apologize.
We could sit here and name all of the problems with this game outside of it just being boring and monotonous, but instead we'll focus on the biggest problem this week, which is the fact that Ubisoft's Safe Space Simulator, anti-cheat software, is just a bit too triggered by standard user activities in this game. According to the article over on popular weeb message board site Kotaku, this has been happening to players even since the beta, and that despite certain hot fixes, players are still claiming that they are being booted from the game for no good reason. Ubisoft has admitted that the issues exist, and they're continuing to work on a solution, but for us it's just a clear-cut case of, oh, you don't want me to play your game? That's fine. Bye.
Seems like this game has a lot of internalized depression.
Mm-hmm. But for some reason, people are pissed that they can't play this game for some reason. Mostly Shibby, who was rightfully banned by Ubisoft for violating the T.U.G.S code of ethics.
That's right. But while others in For Honor are getting banned for no good reason, there's another group of people who are going out of their way to get banned from games as quickly as possible. And the game in question is, of course, Club Penguin.
Yeah.
Which is being discontinued in the not too distant future. Wah! The only reason...
Well, at least I got my Switch when that goes.
The only reason we even know what a Club Penguin is in the first place is because of the numerous images and memes that have been floating around for years in which people get banned from it for saying ridiculous shit like, I'm trying to get my penguin dick sucked, or simply Filipinos.
It's a banned word.
This is like that Disney social network for kids, right? That forces consumerism on them.
Yeah. It's fun when it's penguins, though. Or as Brandon Dirch Cramble Snatch would say,
a penguin.
Pingwangs. Pingwangs. He's like, that episode is literally like that pregnant thing, but only one person saying it.
Pregnant?
Yeah.
Pregnant?
Now, anyways, there is a competition to see who can get banned the fastest from Club Penguin and Penguang. And there are even rules in place because this is apparently very serious. This is from speedrun.net or some shit.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with speedtest.net.
No.
This is their rules. Time starts the moment you make your first input in your fresh web browser. Using a guest account on Chrome is recommended. Make the account, make a temporary email, log in, get banned. Time ends when the orange window pops up telling you that your Penguin account has been banned. No bookmarks, clean clipboard, no autofill from already visiting the site, no pre-existing email. Play as if you just installed the browser.
Now, the current record holder is a Canadian. Surprise, surprise.
All hopped up on poutine and Tim Hortons.
Yep, he goes by the name 2KRN4U. He was able to get himself banned a mere 37 seconds after taking all the necessary steps and logging into the server. Spoiler alert, he said fuck. That's cool. The internet's great. Good job, kid.
There we go. Give that man an award.
Yeah.
Send him to Twin Galaxies.
That should be...
The getting banned from Club Penguin Award.
The king of penguin.
Yeah. All right, now, before we let Shibby out of his cage to give another game a good score for no reason, we have to do a little bit of good news for everyone. See? We can be positive, too.
Yeah.
Recently, Humble Bundle released the Freedom Bundle, which came with a whole lifetime worth of games.
Too much.
And ebooks. Those were also attached to it, which you could unlock for around $30 total if you wanted all of them. You could also pay a little bit more if you're feeling
I gave
extra
him $50.
Charitable. Yeah. Okay, good for you.
Charitable and ethical.
Rich ass. All of the proceeds would go to organizations like the ACLU, Doctors Without Borders, and the International Rescue Committee. And well, when it was all said and done, they were able to help raise $6.4 million with these bundles. And it's incredibly impressive, and it'll probably go a very long way to help these important causes.
Yeah.
So,
And no one made a profit on this. All the games were donated. I got it. Just looking at the fucking email with all the titles, I'm like, oh, I have to actually manually input these codes into Steam? It's never gonna happen. There's too much shit in there. Bunch of like fucking comic books and audiobooks and shit. Have been playing The Witness though. It's hard.
but your heart was in the right place.
Yeah.
There you go. So congrats to them. But now we got to get Shibby in here to ruin all that goodwill towards humans, and he'll be here to just continue on with his drunk slurring and anger.
Yeah.
Should we slow this down to a half speed, like right now?
No.
T.U.G.S boys and T.U.G.S boys. This week I wanted to review Horizon Zero Dawn.
Where's the girl?
Where's the girl? Hey.
This is not an equal opportunity show.
Girls don't play games.
Girls aren't gamers. I wanted to review Horizon Zero Dawn for the PlayStation console. However, I did not get a review copy.
There you go.
I fear I'm banned by Sony, which I feel is unethical, much like the Wall Street Journal. Anyways, this week I'm reviewing...
WSJ or SJW, same thing.
I'm reviewing Sniper Elite 4. Much like PewDiePie, I did not see this coming.
Oh!
In this game, you play as an elite marksman named Carl Fairborn, who I just refer to as the Testicle Terminator. The Terminator is part of some alt-left resistance group who is hunting the Fuhrer through the countrysides, coastal cities, Nazi encampments, man in the high castle type shit. I don't know. Non-ethical review sites are giving out the typical scores, 8 out of 10, whatever. But we here at ETC Party Time see all through this malarkey. Ethical scores, as I know best of course, are either 0 or a 10. Anything in between this clearly means the reviewer did not actually play the game and has no objective opinions.
Like For Honor?
You just admitted that you're unethical. You're fired, Shibby. Get out. But finish your review first.
Thank you. The AI in this game are basically the voice that Elliot does when he would do the Amazon reviews. I, for one, love that forgotten segment of the show and think it should return. Testicle Terminator 4 might be the worst $60 purchase of the year, because it does not make any sense. Sure, at this point in the series, it's arguably the best, but what do you expect after 4 attempts? Much like FIFA or Madden, it's hard to fuck up a formula that you copy-paste every year. It works, but it's lazy. Oddly enough, Call of Duty seemed to have missed that memo, for whatever reason. Look, I know Hitler, through PewDiePie's videos, that they're highly trained safety soldiers, like the YouTube Heroes program. It does not make much sense that these safety soldiers pace back and forth underneath massive objects that are always held by a single flimsy rope, much like my neck. You just killed him. It's a C-tier game that is requesting a AAA price. It should be criminal. Okay. In conclusion, if you like derping around open world instances, having gunfights with safety soldiers, feel free to pick up this game in the bargain bin. But for the rest of us, 0 out of 10.
You're like if they, if we had Mr. Ed reviewing games with peanut butter in his mouth.
Thank you.
Can you do the next review in a horse mask?
I'd love to.
Great.
Join the safety soldiers today. YouTube appreciates it.
Well, anyway, that's another waste of your time with T.U.G.S.
So we did a live stream last week. We did a live stream this week. We're doing a good job with this channel.
We're doing it live. Fuck it.
Tell your friends to subscribe. Watch the past 2 live streams. We're gonna do more. Tell them to subscribe. We want our silver play button, and then it's canceled.
Yep.
Again.
Just want that belt buckle.
If we get this one, you can actually make it into a belt buckle.
Yeah, I didn't want to ruin the ETC one.
Yeah.
Although it has our wrong channel name on it anyway. It says fucking Machinima ETC.
Boom.
Worthless.
Worthless. All right, go play Wildlands beta or something, but the cutscenes are garbage. Also, too much patience for my taste.